Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to show you multiple ways to slow down a song, change the pitch of a song, and loop parts of a song. This is a valuable tool for learning and practicing new songs. So say you're trying to figure out a guitar solo and you're having trouble figuring out how it goes, you can slow it down, have a little bit easier time to figure it out. Also, what if a song is in a different key? Either for a singer, the song is too high, you can lower the pitch and practice it that way, or you don't want to change your guitar tuning, you just want everything to be in drop half step or something like that. Just an overall helpful tool in order to learn and rehearse songs. So I'm going to show you multiple ways to do this, either with songs that you have on your computer or on your iPhone or tablet or Android. And I'm also going to show you some options on how to do this with songs on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music. If you're only interested in learning one way to do this, time codes are on the screen and you can jump to that part of the video. If you're interested in learning all the options that you have here, you might find that one is more valuable for the way that you practice. So I'm going to show you multiple ways to do this. All right, so the first way that I did this was with the app Anytune. That's what I used to demo at the beginning. This has a desktop version or an app for the iPad or iPhone. So you click it, it has all of your songs in your music library. I'm going to go ahead and pick a song from my old band just so I don't get a copyright strike. Pick the song, load it in, and it's going to analyze it and put the song in. So let me fast forward to the part that we're assuming you're trying to learn. So let me get to the guitar solo. So let's say that's the part we're trying to learn. Say we're having a lot of trouble figuring that out. I'm going to rewind it a little bit. And the way you slow it down here is you push the button, drop it down to 75% speed. It's a little bit easier to figure out that way. So we put it back up to standard. Now, also, this with my old band, with this band, we used to play in drop half step tuning. Let's say I wanted to play it again, and I didn't want to be in drop half step tuning. I wanted to move it back up to standard tuning. Change the pitch by pushing these buttons right here, either sharp or flat. So I'm going to bring this up by 1. Now it's in standard tuning. What if I wanted to go drop whole step? So on and so forth. Pretty cool. Now let's say there's a specific part that I was having a lot of trouble figuring out. There's that little loop right, that little section, that little sweep that I do, or I was like, what is going on with that? I'm trying to figure that out. So what you can do with this one is you turn on a looping option and you push this A button right here. It'll set the point. And then to this, the ending, push B, and then you turn on loop, and it'll loop that section. So I can practice that song, I could slow it down, practice it that way. Make sense? There are other features in here as well as like a step-up trainer so that you can start with it at 75%, and the next time it loops through, it'll move up to 76% or 80% or whatever. But overall, with the app Anytune, you can slow down a song, you can change the pitch of a song, and you can set loop points. Okay, you can also do this with any song on YouTube, actually. Now, this one is limited, but everyone has access to YouTube, so I'm going to demo this one. So go to your settings, playback speed, and you can drop it to 75%. So that's all you can do on YouTube. You can just slow it down to 50% or 75%. You can't do like 85% or anything like that. 75% is usually a pretty good sweet spot unless you're trying to figure out like animals as leaders or something ridiculously fast. But 75% is a pretty good sweet spot. So it is a useful tool. You cannot change the pitch, however, in YouTube, at least as of recording this video. But still, 75% is kind of a sweet spot. So it's kind of just a quick tip on how you can quickly slow down a part of a song that you're trying to figure out. Okay, so for Garageband, it's pretty easy. Just drag and drop the file that you want to edit. Turn the click off so you don't hear that because you don't need it. What you're going to do is you're going to set the tempo to 100. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything because the song is already set. Do that first before you do any of this other stuff. Double click it. Click this button right here, which is the flex. And now what happens is it's going to listen to the tempo. So that's why I set it to 100. So if you want to set it to 75% speed, drop it to 75, and now the song is at 75% speed. Put it back up to 91. Now it's 91%. So that's why I had you set the initial tempo to 100. So you know to set the tempo to 75 is 75%. If you set it to 91 as the tempo, you're at 91%. Make sense? So to change the pitch, what you do is double click up here, go to master. These are all your plugins right here. I'm just going to click one of them, we're going to turn all of them off and set this one to pitch shifter. So now you set your mix up to 100 and then drop the pitch. Let's say we're going to drop it down by 2. And now it is in drop full step. So you can hear it kind of chipmunks the vocals. So anything going past -2 or up by 2 does either chipmunk or double the vocals, but it still is a very helpful tip. If you want to loop a part of a song, just at the top on this bar right here, just click and drag, and it's going to loop this section. It'll loop that yellow section indefinitely until you turn that off. So that's how you do it in GarageBand. So in Logic, it's actually going to be very similar. Drag and drop the file in. Now click on the file, and then Logic changes this around all the time. Currently, it's under hit Command 6, or go to Window, Open Audio File Editor. That's currently where it's at. And then click Functions and Time and Pitch Machine. So whatever version of Logic you're in, just look for Time and Pitch Machine because they move it around constantly. And right here, you actually just have the percentage change. So if you want it to drop by 25%, which would be 75%, put it to -25%. There is a shortcut, however. So what you can do, let's say we're going to cut out this part of the song because that's the part we want to work on. There is a shortcut. Let's delete the other stuff. And then what we can do is you can hold Option, and down in the lower right-hand corner, see how it kind of changes the image? Hold Option and drag it out. And what that does is actually slows it down. So you're not going to get an exact one, but if you just need general slowdown and just a quick slowdown, that's a good way to do it. And then the same thing, Option, drag it forward to speed it up a little bit. And Logic also the same way to do the looping. It's up at the top, and you can loop a part of the song. So that's how you do it in Logic. To pitch shift, go over to the channel strip, add pitch shifter, set the mix up to 100, and then set how many semitones you want to go up or down. Pretty straightforward. So Anytune was my favorite app that I use. It's just really well laid out, but you can only do that with songs either on your desktop if you're using the desktop version, or on your phone if you're using the iPhone version. However, there is an app called the amazing Slowdowner, which is able to get it off of Spotify and Apple Music. So apps change all the time. Sometimes they are allowed to use Spotify, sometimes not. Sometimes they're allowed to use Apple Music, sometimes not. Sometimes with limitation. As of right now, the amazing Slowdowner seems to work on Android and iPhone, and it does work with Spotify and Apple Music as of right now. If anything changes, I'll leave links to new apps down in the description, and I'll try to keep you guys updated as much as possible. But as of right now, the amazing Slowdowner does work with Spotify and Apple Music. It does have some limitations with Apple Music, is my understanding. I'm a Spotify user, but you can't change the pitch. So again, every app's going to be a little bit different. So it's pretty self-explanatory once you're able to log into your Spotify or Apple Music. If you want to put in a song from your phone, you hit Import, Music Library, and then you find the song. So now that one's in there, and you can hit play. So I have just the free version of it, which you can only listen to the first minute of the song. Just a limitation with it. It's $15 for the full version. I think it's actually a really good deal for the fact that you can do the same thing with songs off of Spotify and Apple Music. So you can scroll through the song, listen through, so on and so forth. The way that you slow it down, is up here, speed. There you go, and change the pitch. Pretty simple. The way you do a loop, so you push this button right here, turn it on, and you say I want to loop from 31 seconds to, let's do a short loop, 34 seconds. Hit play. And it's going to loop that part. Make sense? Pretty simple and pretty straightforward. Okay, so there is a cool little feature in Anytune as far as isolating parts of a song. It doesn't always work. You do have to pay for this as an add-on, but it is pretty cool. It's not very expensive. Push the button down here in the lower left, in the lower right. Turn on Reframe. Now what this does, gives you your entire spectrum. So you can dial in, so you can see what's panned to the left, what's panned to the right, and then what's in the lower frequencies and what's in the higher frequencies. So you can kind of isolate it out. Now, the way that I like to do it, this button right here removes everything from that frequency. This one isolates it. So you can't really hear the guitar solo with this. And you kind of fine tune it. Get a little more high end. I get a little more snare when I do that, you know. Let me put back up to full speed. Pretty cool little feature. So if you're having trouble hearing something, like it's really buried in there, that's a really cool feature. So the best software for removing and isolating parts is RX by Izotope. It's about $200, but it's pretty crazy what this thing can do. You just drag the file in here, open Music Rebalance, and let's say I just want to hear just the vocals, so I can do that. Always changing gears, reflections of these years caught up in my soul. It's been a long day. That's crazy that it can do that. You can hear all the artificial sounds and stuff like that happen, but I mean, to import a stereo track and it can isolate parts, so let's hear just the percussion. So again, you can hear like little pieces of stuff in there, but it's amazing it's able to figure out the kick, snare, and cymbals and everything. So if you want to hear just the guitar, let's bring up other, so that's going to fall into keys and stuff like that. So you can hear it has like that phasing issue and type of stuff, but it's still incredible that you can still really hear what's going on in the guitar, especially in the left channel if you listen to that with headphones. So this is really helpful in order to kind of figure out what's going on in the song. So let me do it for the guitar solo. I mean, you can still hear all that stuff going on, but you can still hear what the guitar is doing. And you have different, if you're having trouble, you can do different separation algorithms, set the sensitivity, things like that. It has presets to isolate vocals, aggressive, gentle, medium. It's pretty crazy that it's able to do that. So it's a really useful tool in order to figure out what's going on in a song. All right, the last thing that I love using this for is for songs that are not tuned to 440. You've probably learned songs and you're like, I play this in standard, it sounds sharp. I play this in drop half step, it sounds flat. It's because it wasn't tuned to 440, and there's all sorts of reasons why that could happen. Back in the days, they didn't have tuners, so they just tuned to each other. If you listen to like a Beatles song, they're almost always not in 440 tuning. But this, you can slightly adjust it. So go play, the first note in TNT by AC/DC, unless if you got like a remastered or retuned one. You try playing that first chord, try playing that low E as a guitar player. It does not sound right. You can slightly change that and move it up by like half a semitone so that you can practice and not drive yourself absolutely crazy. That's one of the main reasons why I love having this option, because I can't tell you the number of songs that I've heard that are not tuned to 440, and it drives my ear absolutely crazy. So hope this helped you guys out. I'm doing this video, actually, the reason why I started doing this is because I'm about to teach an alternate picking course. So if you are interested in that as a guitar player, I will start posting those down in this description down below once those videos become available. If you like the song that was by my old band Tattooed Strings, the song was called Long Road, I'll post a link to that as well. So I hope you guys found this helpful. If you know of other apps that you can slow down music in Spotify or Apple Music, please comment below, and I'll try to leave updates in the description as time goes on and things in the music industry change. So I'll try to keep that updated. Feel free to leave any comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That really helps out my channels. So yeah, I hope it helped you guys out, and thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.